Do you want homebuyers remorse? I don't think anybody does. Here's some tips. Good afternoon. So, one of the worst things as a real estate agent that you can have happen to one of your buyers is that they experience home buyer's remorse. That is, they bought a home and now they're very, very unhappy that they bought it. They're almost kind of sick to think that they've bought a house. Maybe they feel bamboozled. Maybe they feel like it just isn't the right time. Whatever it is, that home buyer's remorse is terrible for you as a real estate agent because the buyers are likely to blame you for that. And so, I've been in the business a while. I wanted to give 10 ways to eliminate or avoid your buyers feeling home buyer's remorse. Let's get into them today. I don't have my other screen. I wrote these all myself. I have no article to go on. These are just things that I've learned. I'm going to pull them up and let's just go over them. So, number one, know the location of the home that you're going to buy. So, it's not enough to know the zip code of a home. It's not enough to know the community. You need to know the exact area where you're going to buy. Home prices can fluctuate tremendously in a zip code. You need to know the subdivisions and the houses at almost a street level, street by street. Of course, an experienced real estate agent can help guide you, but you need to know where you're buying so you can make a decent comparison. So like in St. Louis, say you want to live in Shrewsbury. Well, you better know everything about Shrewsbury before you decide to buy there. Maybe there's things about the community you don't like. Okay. So it's very, very important that you know that location ahead of time. Don't just pick some price like $250,000 or $300,000 and then go across the entire county. That's not going to work. You will feel buyer's remorse. Number two, make sure your comparable sales are relevant. Home buyers tend to rely on appraisals to know if they purchased the right home. And this is a mistake in my opinion. Your real estate agent should be able to pull comparable sales within an area, but those comparable sales need to be relevant. For example, a home with a 2-car garage will have a different value than one with no garage. In St. Louis, a house that is all brick is going to have a different value than a home that is siding. Make sure you're making an apples to apples comparison. While you would think that real estate agents could pull a reasonable and relevant set of comps or comparable sales, you'd be surprised. If you do see comparable sales that aren't anything close to the house you're buying, question your real estate agent. Ask them, why do you think that this is relevant to my purchase? Number three, sometimes the highest bidder is the ultimate loser. In this market, you're going to see multiple offers. Some buyers are motivated by winning the bidding game and forgetting that they're actually buying a house. Overpaying for a home is not winning. It's a mistake and it can lead to buyer's remorse. To avoid this, use your knowledge of the market and your comparable sales to come up with a number that you are happy with before you submit an offer. When the time comes to make an offer, stick with the number that represents your best guess at the actual value of the home. Number four, never buy a home that you haven't physically seen in person. Real estate agents are savvy marketers. We know what sells houses. When you look at listing photos online, you're seeing the absolute best the house has to offer. When you see these homes online, you start to think that there isn't anything wrong with them. That's probably not true. The only way to know what you're actually buying is to physically see the home in person. It can be a hassle. You might not even be living in the community. And while video tours have come a long way, nothing can benefit you more than physically seeing the house. Number five, if you're feeling tremendous pressure from your real estate agent to make an offer on a house you aren't interested, fire your agent. The general public is pretty smart. While they might not know the intricacies of the real estate market, they can definitely sense when a real estate agent is pushing them in the wrong direction. While it's normal to feel nervous about making such a large purchase, it's not normal to be pushed into making an offer. This is a sign that you aren't on the same page with a real estate agent and you're better off finding one that better fits your personality. Hey, I've not been fired as a buyer's agent so much as sometimes people just kind of decide not to buy at a certain time. I don't like pushy real estate agents. I don't like pushy salespeople in general. They're out there though. They may be doing great business. Maybe some people like to be pushed into stuff. I think it's a recipe for disaster. I think that you'll definitely have a sense of homebuyer's remorse if you're in a situation like that. Number 6, there's a reason a home sits on the market for a long time relative to the market. Don't be the one to find out the hard way. And so what I see a lot of times is you'll have a home come to market. It'll be overpriced relative to the situation, but it'll sit on the market for a while. And what that basically means in this market is that there's something wrong with the house. I mean, if houses are going under contract in a weekend and this house hasn't been sold for 30 days or more, there's something wrong. I've had 2 houses that I've seen listed in my career that were complete basket case homes, and they were inexplicably priced similar to homes in their neighborhoods that were not a mess. One was a house where there was a disclosed sinkhole that was underneath the basement floor, and another had steel supports under a concrete floor that had disintegrated due to water damage. These homes needed work done by professionals, and they needed to be purchased at much lower prices. Just because someone else doesn't buy a house doesn't mean you should be the one to jump in and be some sort of hero. No, let someone else deal with that. Let someone else deal with that. If you don't have a significant amount of construction experience, you could be buying something that's just an absolute wreck. You will definitely feel homebuyer's remorse in that situation. Number 7, use an experienced real estate when making a home purchase. Now, I see so many people who hate real estate agents, and so they do everything they can do to avoid them. But what I've seen is what can end up happening is like a situation that I know right now. I currently know a buyer who's going to pay more than $100,000 more than what they should because they aren't using a buyer's agent, and the seller is going to really, really pull one over on them. Experienced agents, even in this crazy market, are invaluable and can help you find the right home without having buyer's remorse. So, I mean, typically the seller pays the commission. There's no reason not to use a buyer's agent. If you're talking to a seller who refuses to pay a buyer's agency fee, there's probably a reason for that. So I'm just putting that out there. I do have a bias. I am a real estate broker. I get it. But from what I've seen, you could really put yourself in a problem. Number 8, don't buy a home at the very top of your budget. The lender has given you the ability to buy a home at the very top of your budget. Don't do it. Well, why? No matter what home you buy, there's going to be ongoing maintenance. Who pays for this maintenance? You. Buying a home at the top of your budget could easily cause homebuyer's remorse because you no longer have the money just to maintain the home in its current condition, much less have money for improvements. So I see this all the time. They call it house poor. When my friends were buying houses in their 20s, they'd buy this huge house and there'd be no furniture, for years. I mean, just know that you're going to have expenses after you buy the house, and they're going to hit you all the time, oftentimes at the worst possible time. So, number 9, home inspection, appraisal, and financing contingencies are benefits for the buyer. In this market, the cleanest contract to purchase is likely to win. This means ones that waive the inspection, finance, and appraisal contingencies. As a buyer, however, ask yourself if you should really buy a home without private home inspection. Does that really make sense in any market? Should you waive the appraisal contingency? Why? Are you uncomfortable with the home appraising? Waiving these contingencies can easily cause buyer's remorse. Most sellers are good people who try to put themselves in the shoes of buyers. They aren't intimidated by inspections or appraisals because they would want the same thing if they were buying a home. Is losing out on a home because of a home inspection hard on your emotions? Absolutely. Is that better than living in a home with a serious structural issue that will cost thousands to fix? Absolutely. Just keep that in mind. Home inspections are obviously can be taken up in a bad way by both sides, but just a general home inspection could help you avoid significant problems in the future. Number 10, make sure you take enough time to make a decision to purchase. Time can be used as a benefit or a curse. As a buyer, take the time you need to make a decision to pursue a purchase. How does this work in the real world? If home showings on a particular new-to-market home start on a Friday, and the seller and real estate agent are reviewing all offers on a Monday, that gives you Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to make a decision to write an offer or move on. Contrast this with scheduling a showing early Monday morning with mere hours before you have to submit an offer. that's likely to cause a snap decision and eventually lead to buyer's remorse. So these are the things that, I see in my business every day. These are the things that I've learned because I don't want my buyers to have buyer's remorse. And to be honest, we've had a good run. Is it going to happen someday? I suspect. But, for 10 years we've done okay. So keep these things in mind. Okay? Every situation is different, but these are general things that if you just keep in mind during the home buying process, it should help eliminate or greatly avoid the chance of home buyer's remorse. With that, I'm going to head on out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one.